Everyone is always talking about using project management systems to help improve your productivity. But how do you use them? And which one is best? Well, I think Asana is best. Stay tuned, and I'll tell you how I use it to run all three of my businesses. Hi entrepreneurs, I'm Vicky Brown, and you're in the right place if you want to engage your team, boost your business, and grow your leadership muscle. In a few episodes, I've mentioned that Asana is my preferred project management system. Today, I'm going to take you on a deeper dive into how I use it. By the way, I'm not an affiliate. I'm just crazy about Asana. Asana has 4 pricing tiers, and while there are some additional features in the premium, business, and enterprise tiers, the truth is that most people, including me, find that the basic free tier is more than enough to not only get started, but to take you quite a way on your organizational journey. In fact, there are any number of successful companies that have never moved off of the free tier. Yep, it's that good. The free tier gives you unlimited tasks, projects, messages, file storage, and a host of other perks, and it allows you to collaborate with up to 15 teammates. If you need things like timeline view, task dependencies, or to work with more than 15 teammates, you'll have to upgrade to one of the paid tiers. Once you set up your Asana account, then the fun begins. The Asana overall structure goes like this. There are teams. I've used teams to define my different companies. One's for Idomeneo, one for Leader's Journey Experience, and another for the Idomeneo Insurance Agency. And then I further broke them down into departments. So for instance, sales, admin, operations. Then there are projects. For me, this is the backbone of Asana. A project is the container for tasks. So you're probably thinking, why can't I have a task that isn't in a project? Well, you can, but I find that the types of things I'm working on in the business have multiple steps or tasks, like video production or course creation. And when you have a multi-tiered process like these, it's helpful to put it all under a separate project. A quick note here. You can add someone to a team or a project, but the big difference is when they're added to a project, they get task notifications. But if they're joined to a team, they can simply view everything under that team and only get limited project notifications. Think of it as an active versus inactive role. Project members are active, team members are just watching the movie. So for me, it makes sense to only add people to projects. But remember, Asana is so flexible, you can set it up differently to best fit your needs. Okay, so we did teams and projects. The final piece of the pie is a task, and it's exactly what it sounds like. A task is an action you have to take. Generally, a project will have a bunch of tasks inside it. One of the easiest ways to show you what I mean is to take a look at my book project. I used this to write and launch my book in 2020. That's why you will, thankfully, see that most of the tasks have been completed. You can toggle between completed and incompleted tasks by using the drop-down. But for now, let's look at the incomplete so you can get a sense of what the whole project looked like. So, we're looking at the list view. You can see that I've set up sections, and under each section are specific tasks. Let's take a look at a specific task. So here the task, audiobook. This is everything I need to get the book recorded and uploaded to Audible. Then I assigned it to myself. Inside each task, I can have subtasks and assign them to people. They can be attached to projects as well. I can attach files and photos, put in a description, or add comments. Then I put it in the books project. And I also assigned it to my focus project. I'll tell you more about that later. Once a task or subtask is done, I check the completed button. So when we go back to our project view, you'll see it's in the list under the Write Book section, but you can also see it in the board view as well as a calendar view. You'll see how this will be handy later on. Earlier I said I attached this task to my focus project. That's a project specifically designed to track overall annual, quarterly, and monthly goals in the business. So, in looking at the Focus 2020 project, you'll see that I've added sections for each quarter. And to help me along, I also added in an overall theme for each quarter. So for instance, Q3's overall theme was book prep, social media management prep, and email campaigns. And that's where the audiobook task fell. So if I just wanted to look at my overall company goals for the quarter, the focus project is where I would come to see if we're staying on track. Of course, every task doesn't belong to the focus project. You may have tasks that aren't attached to a project at all, although I don't recommend that. For those, I call them free-floating tasks. Either attach them to a project like management or general finance or customer service, etc. For me, each task should be part of a project bucket. So, we've covered individual tasks and projects and teams, but one of the massive advantages of Asana is that you can slice and dice the list any way you need to. So, you can use the Inbox tab and see everything you have to do today and upcoming, or you can use the My Tasks tab to see a list or a calendar of tasks. The two projects I spend the most time in are our podcast production and video production projects. We set them up in board view. Each video is a task and has a list of subtasks. As the video moves along in the production process from pre-production through production, post-production, marketing, day of tasks, and finally completion, we move it from one section to the other. That way we can keep track at a glance of what stage everything is in. When we're working on the video, instead of having a checklist, we have each step set up as a task. They can be assigned to someone on the team and have a specific due date. For instance, one of the subtasks in the pre-production process is creating the excerpts from that video so we can schedule them for social media. Each post is assigned to the social media calendar project, and as a result, when you look at the social media calendar project, you can see everything that was scheduled or needs to be scheduled in Hootsuite for posting. This is really handy because we can assign any task inside Asana to the social media calendar. So podcast excerpts from the podcast production project, or notes from the book, or even just something that struck my fancy that I may have a task note about in journal notes. It's all available for easy capture and assignment. For complicated processes like video production, we create a template to make the process easier. The template has all the subtasks and info we need on a new video production. We duplicate it, rename it, and we're good to go. And finally, you can even use it for time blocking. If you assign a day and time to the task, it'll show up on your My Tasks calendar for that specific time. It's a great way to keep yourself on track without trying to hold everything in your head. If you found this information helpful, please subscribe and share. And if you're struggling with how to get your business off the ground and what comes next, well, check out the Leader's Journey Business Builder. I designed this completely free video series to help you with figuring out who your customer is and where to find her, how to sell without selling, how to package and deliver your service, and much, much more. Check it out by using the link leadersjourneyexperience.com. And remember, your inspired leadership is the secret sauce to having a high-performance team and a wildly successful business you'll love. I'll see you next time on Leader's Journey.